be leaders ourselves.
Black women are being used by the Democrat Party.
All of these socioeconomic indicators are in the negative, particularly for Black people. They want mob rule. When Trump was in office, please somebody tell me what act of dictatorship did he perform?
She had Donald Trump's hair on top of her head. And she's sitting here talking about brown girl this, brown girl that.
Because she's a Black woman.
They would ask her how to spell her first name and clap like sea monkeys.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. It is Saturday. This is our Saturday Night Live, and it's time for Pop and Politics. I'm KJ. Let me introduce you to my co-hosts. Of course, we have Nicole Bennett and Shelly E.
Hi, it's Saturday.
Saturday. Yep, it's our Saturday Night Live. And so before as you guys come in, please hit that like button, and subscribe, but definitely hit the like button. It really helps to get our video out to a wider audience. And we want as many people as possible to see this. So as you guys know, we are on YouTube and we're on Rumble. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify under the name Pop and Politics. We love our chat. We shout out all of our super chats. So it's the best way to get your voice heard in the conversation and to show your love for conservative content. This is not just a podcast. This is a movement of God-fearing, truth-seeking, America-loving people that value freedom. Stand with us and subscribe so we can amplify this rallying call for freedom. All right, ladies, let's set it off. Before we get into the nonsense, the madness that the Democrat Party is doing, I just want to talk about, Shelly, you and I were talking about this earlier. We feel like something's coming. We feel an unrest right now, not in the conservative movement, but in America in general. It's just like something is bubbling and it's about to really explode. What you want to go into that a little bit more, Shelly?
Yes, I was talking to someone and he's been saying this for maybe a month or so, that he thinks it's going to be a really, really hot summer. And unfortunately, he means hot in the wrong kind of way, right? There's something in the air. And I think as we get into this, I guess this first issue, this first topic, I think we might highlight some things why we think that and maybe the direction that it's going in.
Yeah, absolutely. Nicole, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, we've seen it's actually been a great week for President Trump in general, but it just feels like as we get closer and closer into the summer, into May and beyond, I don't know. I feel like, this is what how I explained it to Shelly. It feels like if you had a soda and you just keep shaking, and sooner or later that top is going to come off and everything's going to explode. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree. I think heat is going to make the Great Divide greater. And if we don't quell this acting out, this quote unquote peaceful protesting with elbows, pushes, and shoves, it's going to go off the rails. And this is coming from Democrat leadership, not from boots on the ground. So we have to get somewhere to work around how these adults who are allegedly leaders are behaving before the entire country pops. Agreed.
Yeah. And I saw somebody in the chat mention Marxism and how we know that the Marxists, they want chaos to sow division in America. And then, to create this chaos so that eventually they implement some one world government, one world globalization government. And I think part of that, and we said this on the show last time, I think at least I said it, is they are trying to show the police in a defeated, subordinate position we keep getting all this video of these rioters. We got it back in 2020 of the BLM riots. Now we're starting to see it more in Washington, in Seattle, in California, these mobs of people, and you see the police retreating. And that makes me uneasy. That makes me very uneasy. But why are the police told to retreat? Why are they being told to stand down? Why are we continuing to see these videos of a mob taking over the police, our malls, just the streets, our college campuses? One, to me, it's telling other mob environment people, the leftists, hey, we can do this. Look, we're pushing the police back. The police are in retreat. We're taking over college campuses. We're taking over malls. So what else can we take over? This is
exactly.
It's chaos. It's anarchy. And this is exactly part of the Marxist agenda, communist takeover. It's all part of the plan.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And the more they get away with, the more empowered, the more emboldened they feel. This is why it's so very important for us to stand on the rule of law. The problem that we have is that some of these local townships and towns and cities have Democratic leadership, or I shouldn't say Democratic, let's say Democrat. They have Democrat leadership who are telling them that the rules of engagement are keep your hands to yourself unless it's absolutely necessary to save a life. And that's when you see the police consistently retreating. So I think really once we get some law and order back in the game, we can kind of quell some of that feeling of unease, making the hair on the back of your neck stand up a little bit. But until then, this is going to be a long summer.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long summer.
Oh my goodness. Well, we will continue to pray for one another, pray for our movement, pray for patriots, pray for constitution loving people, God-fearing people, as you guys are in the chat. You know, no matter your ethnicity, your color, you know, if you love God, you love America, you stand for truth, we got to come together and push back against these nutty leftists, these nutty Democrats. We got to do it. We got to stand firm together because they want us divided, and we can't let them do that. So again, it makes me uneasy when the police retreat. This is the video I'm talking about here. Wow, that's crazy to see our brothers and sisters in blue retreating while you have the mob with riot gear. And it's supposed to be the other way around. I don't like to see that. This was in Washington this last week, Washington State. But we've seen these visuals over and over again and again, and it's very troublesome. It is very troublesome, very worrisome for me.
Lisa Frequency has a good comment, and this goes directly to your point, KJ. She says, police don't defend us, they defend the state.
Good point.
She hit the nail right on the head with
point.
That. Yeah, good point. Yeah, it is a good point. Red Bucks with the $5 super sticker. Thank you so much. The first super chat of the night. Wow. Okay, we got another one here. All right, that is Job 9. With the $5. Oh, actually, Chris Jones. I'm sorry. Chris Jones. Thank you so much. Says, hey, just want you ladies to know I got my compliments on the not black, not white American shirt today. Thanks. Oh,
you gotta send us a picture. Send us a picture, Chris.
Yes. Job for 9 with the $5 super chat says, love the content. Thank you so much.
We got a few more.
Okay. Let's see here.
Did we get Jay Hunter Lee?
Let me see. I think we got everybody.
We got a few in there. Oh, we got a lot in there.
Oh no, that's old, Shelly.
Yeah. She's in.
Oh, okay.
All right. So want to start off talking about the chaos. We got to talk about this week, the Democrats storming an ICE facility in Newark, New Jersey. These are people that are supposed to be representing us in Congress, supposed to be about decorum, about law and order, and all they're doing is creating more chaos. So we're talking about in Newark, New Jersey, this week, I think it was Thursday, a Department of Homeland Security spokeswoman said that members of Congress body slammed a female ICE agent. So this was Newark Mayor Ross Baraka staged some type of protest at the ICE facility on Friday, actually, and stormed the ICE facility. He was also accompanied by Democrat reps LaMonica McIver, Bob Menendez, and Bonnie Watson Coleman. Were all fighting for the release of dangerous criminal aliens. So once again, these people are not out there. You know, Newark, New Jersey has its own list of issues. I mean, my goodness, crime, homelessness, poverty, all of these things this city has. And these Democrats choose to not only fight, but also commit crimes for illegals. It's ridiculous. We have the video here. Let me see here. Okay. Yeah, here it is. One moment. Okay, this is video footage of from CNN talking about this craziness. All right.
We should let viewers know there will likely be more arrests coming. We actually have body camera footage of some of these members of Congress assaulting our ICE enforcement officers, including body slamming a female ICE officer. So we will be showing that to viewers very shortly.
You say a video of members of Congress body slamming ICE
That's correct.
officials?
That's correct, sir. It's disgusting.
Okay, and so if you have that video, are you suggesting that members of Congress will be arrested who were there yesterday?
This is an ongoing investigation, and that is definitely on the table.
Who has the video?
ICE does, and we will be releasing that very shortly.
Okay.
Arrest them. We have the video here. Let me see here. All right. Actually, here it is. Okay. Let me see here. This is the video. These nut jobs. Look at that. Look. Look. That fat one in the red is Democrat McIver. Look. There it is. So again, these people are unhinged. They are unhinged, and they're supposed to be representing you. They're supposed to be United States representatives, and this is what they do. It's terrible. Shelley, what are your thoughts here?
These people, I'm putting it mildly, these people are, again, they are anarchists. They are, the politicians now are basically leading the front to cause or to stir up a revolution. This is what they want. They want revolution. If this was you or me, we would have been hauled off, thrown on the ground, wrapped up like pigs on a daggone stick or whatever, going to the slaughter. They need to be prosecuted. They are setting the stage. These are the people, what's her name? LaMonica or whatever, Monica McIver.
You're right.
Do we have the next clip? Are we going to show that when she was hollering for shutting shit down or shutting down the government?
Shut the city down. Shut the city down.
Oh, yes, I have it here.
This is nothing more than the next iteration of BLM. These are the same people who said the J6ers, when they entered the Capitol, they did it illegally. They were trespassing. Remember, they put up a fence around the Capitol for over a year. Okay, these are the same people, the same ilk. They need to be prosecuted.
Yeah.
Period.
Before I get you in on this, Nicole, here's the clip that Shelley's talking about here of LaMonica McIver, representative of New Jersey. Let me see here.
We will not take this. We will fight back.
Fight back. Fight back.
And as I close out, because I know we've been out here for a long time, and goddamn it, shut down the city. We are at war. Anytime a person can pay $250 million into a campaign and they be given full access to the Department of Treasury of the United States of America, we are at war.
Wow. These people are so hateful. Nicole, what's your response to this baboon?
Well, let me tell you, there are three important points. Number one, this is what the Democrats asked for. This is what their voters have asked for. This is what happens when you allow people to not stand on your party platform, but to do whatever the hell they want to do to make their point. So this is not only a black eye for her, because she's a whole jackass. I mean, not a partial, I'm really good at fractions, but I know a whole asshole when I see one. She's a whole asshole. You hear me? Mm-hmm. She doesn't do justice for the people of her area. They have fatherlessness, crime, poverty, and her jackass. Like these people needed that additional problem. Number two, as a black woman, it makes your heart break into a million pieces. Because surely she knows better. There has got to be something in her that says, you know what? All of the decorum that I know that this office requires me to display, I'm going to throw away just so I can make the sound bite, so I can make the TikTok, so I can make shows, so I too can be invited on The View. It makes me sick that they shirk their duty to be internet famous for just a few minutes. Number three, being a member of Congress doesn't get you a damn anything. You work for us. We don't work for you. Since when are elected representatives more than the people that they represent? We, the people, run this government, not them. So it's about time the Democrats stand up and get their leadership under control. Because what's going to happen, make no mistake, after Pam Bondi reviews that video, there are going to be a lot of people in some hot legal water. And it's not going to be the slap on the wrist. She's going to hold them up to the standard of law as if they were regular American citizens. Because guess what? They are regular American citizens. We don't have two systems of justice here. Everybody follows the law, and she's going to learn that hard lesson.
I hope so.
These people they hate America. They hate America. Shelley, what are your thoughts on that? And Bill Maher was talking about that on his show just last night. Well, I mean, are these people anti-American or what?
Oh, they've been anti-American. It's just gotten worse, or they feel more comfortable coming out with it. So you can call social media, maybe their younger generation voters, but absolutely, I don't think that they even think that their representation should make them have a little bit more thought about what they do, particularly in the public. I don't think they think that way. This is for the fodder. This is social media. This is getting the likes, and this is how they get their popularity. Again, BLM went through the streets of America shouting, "We shut shit down. We shut shit down." She's talking about shutting down cities. This is a congresswoman. Okay, the mayor was arrested
Mhm.
of a trespassing. This goes to the criminals that they let loose. They don't make a distinction between them being elected and saying, no, this system is not going to work if we don't have some law and order, if we don't follow the basic standards of the social contract. They don't think that way. They think in terms of destroying. That's why she says shut down the city, and they want to destroy. There's nothing that anybody can point to, at least in my lifetime, where the progressives have built anything foundational, anything that's honorable and decent, that should just be left alone. To them, nothing is hands off. Zero.
Right. Nothing is sacred. Nothing is sacred to these people. And her saying, shut the city down. Well, hell, half your city's already shut down. Let's do that. Let's talk about the people who don't have jobs, no hope of getting jobs. Let's talk about the fatherlessness that rules supreme there, right? Let's talk about the people living in abject poverty. I'm not talking about, maybe one or two dilapidated townhouses. I'm talking about whole sections of this city that are absolutely heartbreaking. The last thing you want is to shut the city down. If anything, you should be kicking the doors open and asking businesses to come so your people can have a decent life. But instead, you want 10 minutes of fame on TikTok. You want to be, quote unquote, the next Jasmine Crockett. What will it get you? What will it get you?
What will it get your community? We have a super chat here, Kung Fu CJ. Thank you all so much. He says, I am here, never fear, my PMP family. Oh, thank you, Kung Fu CJ. Wendy says, put their elite butts in jail. Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. Yeah. One thing I saw on social media recently, I know we last week or recently we were talking about the mother, the white mother in, what was that? Was she in New Jersey? No, Minnesota or something like that.
Okay. Yeah,
Michigan, where she was calling the young black boy the N-word on the playground. And we kind of talked over that, and she raised so much money. And so people are likening that to something called black fatigue, where, white people are getting sick of these black leftists, black Democrats, these black people in general with the victim mentality and even this sort of stuff this Democrat congresswoman was doing. And I looked at it at first and I was like, as a black woman, I'm sick of y'all too.
Yes. Have had enough. Have had enough of their shit. Up to here. Up to here.
It's just like, when is this going to stop? We went through over 4 years, ever since 2020. When was the George Floyd thing? 2020?
Yeah, I think, 2020, yeah.
2019, 2020, yeah.
Yeah, so about 4 years or so. We have gone over 4 years. We have gone through this yelling, this victim blaming, the DEI, the woke policies, the gender enforcement. But this black, look at me. You need to hear me. You need to listen to me. I'm the black woman, as we say, as Shelley says in the beginning of her of the show tonight. And what has it gotten the community? More violence. Now youth violence is up. Same fatherlessness, more abortions, and they get louder and louder. I mean, when will this stop? Black fatigue.
Listen, they're doubling down on it. I mean, you look at that gigantic black woman statue in New York City, right? She's angry.
I'm sick of it.
Exactly. At some point, we got to draw a line, and I think this is a great place to draw the line. I think it's
one thing to your point, Nicole. You were talking about the people. She's shutting down the city, yet Newark, New Jersey. I just did a quick Google search. According to the census and some other sources, their poverty rate in Newark, New Jersey, is about 25%, more than half of the national rate. But you have these congressmen, elected officials out here saying shut down the city. Why are you not out bargaining and making negotiations for businesses to come into your city so people can find jobs, stable jobs, good paying jobs to pay for pay for their needs. Why are you not doing that? Why are you not getting a bargaining, negotiating to get more police officers to help protect your city so that the people can go to and from work safely and take care of their families? You can't do that. So children can go to school safely and actually learn. They're not out there. They're out there for, again, destroying. I'm sick of it too. It is fatigue. I know the media plays a part in it. Don't get me wrong. I know that there are Black people doing good things and decent things and things trying to help the community, but they don't get the coverage. It's idiots and asses like this that go around the world 10 times faster than that decent Black person, even a decent politician, if you will, that's doing something good. No, they're not going to get shown. It's beyond maddening.
It is. And Kung Fu CJ with the $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Says that woman was exercising her First Amendment right. Yes, she was. But everybody has a First Amendment right, and she is exercising it to be an asshole, to be an idiot. Yes. Because what she is doing right there, she is out here advocating for criminal illegals. And just like you said, Shelley, I'm curious about the education system in Newark, New Jersey. How many of those people in those schools can read at the third grade level or fourth grade level? How many of them are at grade level with math? I'm willing to bet it's not a good state. And this is what I'm talking about. And then you had our mayor here of Baltimore City put out a whole press release how he is in support of the mayor of Newark. And he's right behind him, and he supports him and all this type of stuff. So you all are out here protesting, being violent for illegal criminal illegals, but here in Baltimore City, we had a situation where, and this made national news, where fourth graders, 80% of some crazy number of fourth graders couldn't read at grade level, couldn't do math at grade level. Where are the press conferences for that? Where was the outburst for that? So, it upsets me when I hear you, Shelley, when you say that we don't give enough press to these Black women that are standing up for, righteous causes. But this woman represents all of Newark. She was voted in by probably predominantly Black people. So she's there representing Black people in Newark, representing her district, which is probably predominantly Black, and they voted her in. So she is representative of most of those people in that district, and she is out there acting like a daggone fool.
But you know what? This is what I keep telling you. Not everybody's going to make the trip, right? There are if we're just going to be honest, there's a certain segment of our culture that look at that and go, oh, she's fighting hard for us. They don't look beyond the initial headline in the photograph. They don't read the paragraph that follows that says, they were at an ICE detention center that does not hold Black Americans, that will likely employ many, many Black Americans. But she was there to raise hell about people who don't belong here, for due process for them, where you get no due process, right? This is your elected official who spent all of her time and all of her energy not bringing jobs to you, in fact, standing in the way of jobs coming to you, not increasing the amount of education that your children get, in fact, probably lobbying to have these people freed and run amok in your own community. Right. At some point, this is not about low information voters. This is about voters who willfully vote against their own interests. And
absolutely.
Sometimes you
to Kung Fu CJ,
it is what it is.
To Kung Fu CJ's point about exercise, she was exercising her First Amendment right. They all were. Everybody, you can protest, whenever you want, if you will, for whatever issue, whatever side. But they were asked to leave the property. They were asked to leave the facility. And that is when the clock starts of the trespassing and disobeying a lawful order.
Well, they had no business being there in the first place.
Exactly.
So this is the thing. Simply because you're an elected person does not give you a golden key to go into anything that you want to go into. That's not how any of this works, especially a detention center. If you would like to go into a detention center, There's a way that you do that. You have your staff reach out to the detention center. You give them some dates, they give you some dates. And if everybody can come to an agreement, then you get a specific amount of time in a specific place for your specific representative. Just because you're an elected member of Congress, you just can't go kick doors in whenever you want. Just like we can't go to the Hill and kick their damn doors in. They can't go to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue and walk into the Oval Office. You cannot. So this theory that they have, and I know one of their representatives put forward a bill that allows them, quote unquote, all access is dead on arrival. You hear me? I'm talking about dead. There is a decorum that this particular group of legislators refuses to adhere to. Now, you know, I think back to other speakers of the House who wielded a lot of power. Let's talk Newt Gingrich. One of the things that Newt did that was incredibly strong is he controlled the level of decorum. If you stepped out of line, there was hell to pay. There was none of this, oh, well, they were just exercising their rights. He would beat you back into submission until you fell back in line. I need the Speaker of the House to act like the Speaker of the House. I need.
So you're saying that they should face some type of penalty in the House?
Absolutely. There is a level of decorum that is expected from leaders here in the United States. He needs to pick up that damn gavel and get to reckon. I don't expect him to do that. I would like very much for him to do that. The best course of action is that this causes so much embarrassment to Newark, New Jersey. They lose those jobs that could be coming for the Black community. And finally, maybe they would take seriously their votes for their elected representatives, because this is not good. No, it's entertaining, but it's not good. It's costing you in the long run.
I see. We do have a super chatter here. Tony, thank you so much with the $10 super chat. Says we need more conservatives running in local city council and mayors to stop all these woke city policies and BS. As a Honduran, I'm thinking about doing this to protect Texas turning blue. Go on. Yes, we would. That's a great idea, Tony. And we certainly support you there. We do need more conservatives, more patriots to do that. Maria Serrano with a $10 super chat says, unhinged. They all need Jesus and a couple months in prison. We are fighting a spiritual war. No weapon against the administration should prosper. Big shout out from Charlotte, North Carolina. We love y'all all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Maria. I agree with you 110%, Maria. Absolutely. And as we mentioned, these people, they're un-American. They hate America and they want to see the country fail so then they can tear it all down and then put in some type of global government and this is what it is. And of all people, Bill Maher was talking about this last night on his show. We have the clip here. Let me see here. All right. Here we are. Okay. I don't know why it keeps moving. 1 second. Oh, it is here. Okay, here we are. Sorry about that. Take a look here. Oops, can you hear it? Let me turn it up 1 second.
Rally in Idaho last month, someone threw a Palestinian flag over an American flag, and the crowd erupted in approval. What should have happened after that is one of the adults on stage should have told their young, loyal followers, this is not a symbol of freedom. This is.
Woo!
Yeah.
Thank you, Bill Maher. There's now again, we don't agree with much of what Bill Maher says, but at least he has some common sense to say that was unacceptable. Shelley, what are your thoughts there?
I agree with Bill Maher more than I disagree with him on certain issues. I do, but he's correct. And Bill Maher, I've said it once, I've said it many times. I'm not the only one. Bill Maher is what we call a classic liberal. He has been, and I guess he always will be. He calls balls and strikes as balls and strikes. And so lately, more so, he has been trying to point out to the Democratic Party, basically, you are doing nothing but tearing down and you're not being a good example to your young up-and-coming followers. You are tearing down, and this is what the rest of America is seeing. So he's trying to tell them, get your heads out of your asses, and start doing the right thing to do. You're right. I love that. I don't know if I'm going to play more of that clip, because he went through. He was absolutely correct. But they're not going to listen, because their mission is to destroy.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. We have a super chat here. Mark Slater with the $20 super chat. Oh wow, this is the king of super chat.
Not again.
He says, "Are you out there, Roberto? You aren't going to out super chat me tonight. Bring it." All right. Yes. Who is going to early? Mark has gotten it started. He has laid down the mantle. Who is going to out super chat him? He's already started with $20. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mark. That is so sweet.
Yes. What were you going to say, Nicole, about the yes?
So one of the things that I think that we should definitely know, Shelley is right. Bill Maher is a classic liberal, a classic what we used to call Democrat. Someone who says, I agree with a little bit of this, a little bit of that, kind of like a Chinese menu kind of thing. I take a little from column A, a little from column B, but overwhelmingly a better American, someone who has America focused. Governor Bob Ehrlich, the former governor of Maryland, he was a congressman and state delegate and that kind of thing, talked about how the political parties used to just kind of punt to each other. We'd run the ball a little bit, so to speak, to about maybe the 40-yard line, and then punt to the other team and let them run it to the 40-yard line. But the overriding goal was that nobody was trying to win the game, because as Americans, the game is us, right? We want the best thing, the best possible outcome for Americans. But here we have people who don't love this nation, who are actively siding with our enemies, actively, not saying, well, the Palestinians might be right. When you put another nation's flag over top of our flag, that's a problem. And it's not a problem like people should have been like clapping and going, oh my gosh. Think about the people whose children have fought and died for this nation, whose spouses have fought and died for this nation. Think about the people who risk life and limb just to get here. Rape, torture, everything else, living in a hot container just to get here. Why is it that we're breeding these people here in our own nation, born and bred here, who don't see the value in the American citizenship God has graced them with?
I can tell you why, Nicole. I can tell you why. Because we have 1, 2 generations, maybe 3, who have been reared on entitlement without having to give, quote unquote, give back. I'm just, whatever that means. We have allowed them and taught them basically by our actions that, oh, you deserve everything. You have to earn nothing. You can get awards just for showing up. You are so precious, and we bubble wrap them. We require nothing of them in the sense of, if you want to call it service or whatever, they may get credits for school, high school, but we don't allow them to, if you will, fall, face their consequences. We rally around to protect them for the most inane things. They have not been taught a sense of gratitude, a sense of honor, a sense of our country is the best country on the face of the earth. Go any other country, particularly in the Eastern countries, if you will. You don't have the freedoms that we have, okay? You don't. So we have taught them by, if you will, by passively or actively, that they don't have to do anything except breathe, shit, and eat. And we're going to supply the toilet paper, the food, and maybe even the sterilized air.
And I'll take you even one step further. In a way, conservatives have dropped the ball, conservatives and Republicans, but mostly conservatives, because we have turned over education, or we did at least turn over education and culture to the left. And through that, they have used that to indoctrinate the generations, the younger generations. So now on TV, in the news and culture, movies, all of that, they push this type of hatred for America. They push this type of hatred for our flags through the government-funded NGOs who have taken over the education system. They then have pushed out this indoctrination, not just to cities, also to the Midwest, to areas where we thought we didn't have this problem. Look at Boise, Idaho. They just named the pride flag as one of their official flags to get around circumscribing the idea that you could only display the American flag.
Now Boise, Idaho. Boise, Idaho.
Yeah, heartland of America. But
heartland of America.
The thing is that, one of the things that really struck us during the election cycle is how many young men, especially, voted for President Trump. When the announcement was made that President Trump had won the election, I think it was at West Point, and the cadets were all in their rooms, in their dorms, you could hear them cheering from their beds. So there is a counterpoint to this very public kind of foolishness that's going on now. But I need to find out how we can reach to these kids. I mean, it is ridiculous to me where you see this people willing to do anything, not even to be an American, but just to be here on our soil. But some of the kids who are born here see no value in their citizenship.
I'm saying we collectively, we haven't taught them the value. We've only allowed them to learn and taught them that, oh, you deserve everything. Yeah. Many young people, I'm saying, as parents, and again, this is not any individual, they haven't heard the word no. No, you cannot do X, Y, Z. You will not do X, Y, and Z. There are boundaries and lines drawn. Many parents want to be their children's friends. That's it's more important that they have the latest and greatest technology. God forbid they don't have a cell phone or a smartphone, because mommy and daddy will feel guilty for actually saying, no, you don't get that right now, whatever the case may be. I'm just using these examples. But the mindset that we have taught down to the generations after us is that, oh, you deserve any and everything you want. You can do and be everything you want. No, you can't. No, right. You cannot.
Do one of the most beautiful joys in life is growing up is hanging up on somebody when you had the old phone on the wall. You hung up with such authority, whack, and it was done. They'll never know that joy. They'll never know the joy of drinking from the hose outside because you couldn't go into the house, or everybody had to come into the house because you weren't going to run in and out of the house, right? There are so many simple things that made us much better citizens that I don't know, for whatever reason, like you're saying, Shelley, we've made their lives so cushy that they don't understand the sacrifice that it took to get us to this point.
It's by design. It is by design. This is the Marxist way, where they want us to be so-called cushy, at least to implement this Marxist agenda. They wanted us to feel like, oh, you can depend on the government to take care of you if something were to happen. You can work as much as you can. Women, they don't have to stay in the house. That's subordinate. That's showing that you guys aren't worth anything. Get out there and work. And then, who's going to raise the kids? We'll raise the kids. The government. Right. We the culture, the TV will raise the kids. While you go out and work and you become this independent woman, because that's the ultimate goal there. And then government assistance, medical assistance, and all this type of stuff. It sounds really good to start out, but when the money runs out and we're starting to get rationed off on how we can live and things like that, then it all goes to hell. So this is what they're pushing. It's all by design.
Keep in mind, in communist Marxist countries, one of the ways that the government is, I guess, allowed in, if you will, the children don't have an allegiance to parents. They have an allegiance to the government. Just like we saw this in I can't remember, I think it was in California during the scamdemic, where they wanted to have children report on adults who were not wearing masks.
Yeah.
That's a breakdown. That is an ultimate utter breakdown of the relationship between children and parents. Now, granted, I'm not saying that parents should go out, if your parent, your mom or dad, you're home doing drugs and stuff, absolutely children should call social services, whatever, because that's not a safe environment. That's not a healthy environment. But the government, by and large, has been doing these little things, if you will, maybe not so little, but they're undermining the authority of parents. They are undermining it. And children have, like you said, KJ, these generations have grown up on, oh, it's not mommy and daddy know best. It's not the neighbor, Miss Susie, or even, pastor or pastor so-and-so that knows. It's not those are the people that they don't know best. It's the government that knows best.
Yeah. And maybe we should get some merchandise that says the government is not my parent. The government is not my dad. The government is not my mother. We should do that. But right now we do have merchandise that says, do not let them divide us.
Right.
We're not Black, we're not white, we're Americans. Don't let them divide us. This is on our merch store. Folks, if you want something that's going to, push a message that's not super, super jarring, but it makes sense. You guys check out our merch store. You go to www.popandpoliticslive.com. You can go there. We have our merch. You can get shirts, cups, sweats, hoodies. You can get a whole bunch of stuff, and you can really give your, say what you mean on your shirts. We also have one that I like is I don't need your DEI. So that's a real conversation starter there as well. But it's a great way to support us. And again, you can go on to our website, www.popandpoliticslive.com/shop, or just click on the shop dial there.
Do you know, KJ, I want to stand corrected. For months, I have been telling people the classic white Pop and Politics tee is the best, the absolute best. Everything else is nice, but that was the best. So I bought a black one. I stand corrected. Shelly, hats off to you, ma'am. That black one is bomb. You can wear the mini skirt. You could dress it up. I think Yanni wore hers with some white pants and just brought that whole outfit together. Listen, folks, you want to help us help you, right? Buy this merch, wear it out and about. Use it as a conversation starter with people who may be like-minded or who may be on the bubble. And they'll say, hey, I've never heard of Pop and Politics. You can tell them about the show. They can tune in. And it helps us fight against people like Dawn Lemon and Joy Reid and all of those people who are losing their shows on mainstream TV, who are coming to YouTube with millions of dollars. So we need to combat that to make sure that they don't squeeze us out of the marketplace. And if we do it one cup at a time, one t-shirt at a time, I stand corrected. I like the white cup. The black shirt is the better shirt. Shelly, you win. You win.
Yes.
You win.
And we have super chats. We got these super chats. Light Bearer says, preach, Coley. All right, Nicole. Yes, indeed.
Thank you, Light Bearer.
All right. We have here Job for 9 says they don't have skin in the game.
Exactly.
That's true.
Yep, that's what it is. Shantia says, I love your show, ladies. I wonder who would outbid who tonight. Mark. Oh, yes. Shantia jumped in with the $5 super chat. Still, Mark is the reigning king. He's at $20 or $20 super chat. So somebody has to outbid him. Who's it going to be? Yes, indeed. Also, and this is our Cash App as well. If you can click on there, or you use your camera and use that, and you can donate there at Be More Pop Stars. That's our Cash App also. All right. So I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about some international news. So there have been reports that Trump has cut ties with Benjamin Netanyahu. Before we get into this, we just had another super chat here from Rick H-Town. All right, with the $10 super chat, says, you ladies are such a breath of fresh air. Thank you so much. All right. So yes. There have been reports all about that President Trump is like in having issue with Benjamin Netanyahu. Now, not so much Israel, but Netanyahu. So Yanir Kozin, a correspondent for Israeli Army Radio, on Thursday said in a post on X that Trump made the decision after close associates told Israeli Strategic Affairs Minister Ron Dermer that the president believes that Netanyahu is manipulating him, or I should say trying to. Sources say Trump feels disrespected and is simply putting America's interests over Israel's demands. This comes and after this happened. There have been reports now that Pete Hegseth had a trip scheduled to go to Israel and has canceled it. So I want to get you ladies' thoughts on this. Start with you, Nicole. Do you think this is a thing?
No, I think this is two people who are jockeying for position. Bibi has to answer to the people of Israel. Trump does not. Trump has to answer to the people here in the United States. It's one thing to think diplomatically, well, why doesn't he just play fair with Trump? Try not to be manipulative, but you don't live in an area that's constantly under attack. You don't live with the bombing. You don't live with all the things that are happening there. So there's a lot on both sides. And I think overall, they will end up coming back to the table. Bibi loves his people. He loves his nation. Trump loves his people and loves his nation. And I'm sure they'll work whatever this thing is out. Because ultimately, nobody wants to see the destruction of Israel. That's not what we're looking for.
Yeah, Shelley, so there are reports that there's also been some talk of Netanyahu wanting some type of war with Iran. And so he is manipulating and trying to get some type of skirmish going on in the region to get some type to get the U.S. to bomb Iran. What are your thoughts there?
So your first, when you were reading earlier, 2 words: sources say. Sources can say whatever you want them to say, whomever these sources may be, if they are actually real sources anyway. So that's number 1. Number 2, I think this is all a a strategy, if you will. It's surely a show. Trump, again, America should be first. This negotiation or deal, if you will, with the Houthis, America should be put first, and Bibi Netanyahu should put Israel first. I don't think it's as much of a snipe against Bibi as the media are making it out to be. I think this is what we call strategy. That area has some serious issues and has been for a long time. The fact that President Trump is bringing in the Saudis and I think the Yemenis to go and talk with the Houthis, that's fine. That's a good thing. They are all in that area. They need to. They would want to control those shipping lanes in the Red Sea that the Houthis are bombing the ships and things like that. Because guess what? If the shipping lanes are open, that means America can still get munitions to Israel.
Absolutely.
Okay, in other areas. So I think this is this is the media, vying and jockeying to rev up stuff just because it's President Trump. I don't think it's as much of a snipe against Bibi Netanyahu as they're making it out to be.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, Shelley.
We certainly will see. Let's see here. We have another super chat from Mark Slater. $20 super chat says, someone called my name. Wow. Thank you so much, Mark. All right. And then, Wendy.
Yes, somebody.
$50 super chat says, I've missed several shows lately, so game on.
Okay, come on, Miss Wendy. Do your thing.
Thank you so much. All right, Carla with the $5 super chat says, hello, ladies. Glad I made it home in time to tune in. Saturday nights always better with y'all.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Yes. Well, we will continue to follow this story. Not sure what's going on with Netanyahu and Trump, but we will continue to follow it and see what goes on. Looks like my connection is a little is breaking up there. I do apologize. All right. We have another super chat here. Kimberly with the $20 super chat says, love you ladies. The truth is so refreshing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
So speaking of things going on, take a look at this clip, folks. About we talk about the media, we talk about you're supporting God-fearing people and God-fearing organizations. Take a look at this clip. Oops, do we have it there? Oops. Okay. Well, never mind there. All right. So let me see here. So we got to continue to see what's going on with this area, with this in Israel, and figure out, what's going on with Trump, and hopefully they come together to some agreement. But again, America first, and that's what I completely agree with. America first above all. And this is what it looks like President Trump is doing. All right.
I agree, KJ. I agree. He's got this India-Pakistan thing pretty much handled, and that helps the entire world. So if he can get these two people nations who have been warring for centuries to come to the table, there's still hope for Israel. There's definitely still hope.
Yes. All right. Well, that does it for us tonight. We wanted to get on here and have a quick live with you all before Mother's Day weekend. So want to wish all the mothers out there a happy Mother's Day, along with my co-host tonight. Happy Mother's Day, and to all the mothers there as well. We wish you all have a wonderful Sunday full of love, and hopefully that you are taken care of. Any final thoughts, Nicole, for the audience tonight?
Listen, one of the greatest joys of being a mother is watching your child grow and grow into their own. I am incredibly proud of my daughter. Despite life's challenges, things that were absolutely beyond any of our control, she has grown up to be a remarkable young woman, and she takes my breath away every single day, especially when she shows up to my house with a shopping bag and grocery shops out of my refrigerator. All that shade, right? But I wouldn't have it any other way. And I hope all of the other mothers, the mothers that are in our chat, the mothers to be, the mothers that are wanting, that I hope that you have that kind of relationship with your child.
Yeah.
All right. Absolutely. Shelly, any final thoughts for the audience?
Yeah, I do. I want to wish a happy Mother's Day to all the ladies and moms in our audience and far and beyond. Have a great day tomorrow. Like Nicole said, my daughter and I tell you, we laugh a lot. We had a really good weekend so far. We've been starting since yesterday. Today we went out on a really, really nice hike, and I was so proud of myself. I even climbed some rocks, not a big wall, but we had to climb some rocks to get to the other side of the creek and all that stuff, whatever. And it was just so fun. And one of the things that I am so grateful for is to be called mommy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the I don't know, that's the best title, if you will, or that's the best name I am so grateful to have.
All right, absolutely. We have another super chat there. Kung Fu CJ with a $5 super chat says, "Happy Mother's Day, ladies," and to the ladies of the chat.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, yes, same here. I am so thankful to be a mom, and I'm a mom of an athlete, and so I've spent the day with him. Out there as he played sports today. And that's actually one of my most favorite things to do. I was never like a sports person, but just watching him become the athlete that he has become, and just watching him grow and things like that. I just love it. And so that's really where I use most of my weekends are on some type of field, watching him play. So yeah, my heart goes out to all the moms that are out there doing their thing, and also for the moms who love the country, who love America.
Yeah, absolutely.
Toast to you as well. I hope you enjoy your day tomorrow. We will be back on Monday. Will we?
Yep.
Yeah, Monday.
Yeah,
Monday night. Yeah, we will be back at 8 p.m. So hope to see you all on Monday. Until then, wishing you warm days and starry nights. Good night.
Bye,
Good
everybody.
night. Good night. Good night.